Hey, Mr. Eve, nice to meet you.
The pleasure. I just gotta say a couple things because, you know, I've watched quite a few of Purple's lives that Crime Sleuthing has been in, and, you know, especially the one after, I believe it was AB that put out all of my information and criminal whatever. You know, there's just, you know, it's not right. They put on there during the lives, I know it wasn't Purple that actually put the screenshots on there, it was AB that did, but it was on a community post and then on AB's live itself. But later on, you guys had, my address was on there, you know, everything. You know, and the offense that it wasn't an assault, you know, that you guys kept saying, it's, you know, it's ridiculous. I'm tired of having my name dragged through the mud for your guys' pleasure. It's bullcrap.
I understand, and I actually agree with you, Mr. Eve. It is bullcrap. I completely agree with you. I just want to say that Purple didn't put out any of your personal information. Okay? What our friends do, you won't find a like on any of that. If I don't agree with it, doesn't mean I don't like the person.
Well, he's speaking directly to everybody, Crime Sleuth, and not just you. He's saying in general, this is how he feels.
Let me also say, I saw what Chuck Anderson said in the chat during that Purple's live, and you agreeing, and also saying, oh, yeah, Mr. Eve does have court next week. Maybe I should cover that.
Yes, that was the comment about the 8-hour drive. Correct.
No, it
correct.
wasn't.
That was my comment. That was after that is when I commented, yeah, they're only 8 hours away. I can drive down there and cover the case. We were poking at you because of all the pokes at Tyler. Okay, that's all.
I have absolutely nothing to do with any of it.
But she's going after Brandy's husband.
No, she's not.
But if you're going to go after anybody, you're after her, not him. He has nothing to do with any of this. He's not a
I didn't say that I agreed with it. I was, like I said, I was very angry.
And I just apologize.
And
all I'm looking for is an apology from you and Purple.
Right, he's just saying that
I apologize to you, Mr. Eve. I apologize to you, Mr. Eve, for laughing along. I do agree that I shouldn't have done that, because that is honestly not the person that I am.
I also want you guys to just stop putting information that doesn't have anything to do with Michael Vaughn's case. It has nothing to do with it, so don't put it out there. Don't speculate on things that don't exist. Especially from a guy that lives in Texas, away from absolutely everything. Realistically, all I'm ever doing is just being supportive for my wife.
And that is commendable. My husband would be the exact same way. Somebody actually, I got doxxed, and they pulled up my Facebook and messaged my husband and told him, get your wife off YouTube and all that. And he was like, whatever. He went and bought me a bigger microphone for it. He would defend me as well. I get it. I totally get that. What I'm saying, though, is
an entire studio. Literally built the entire thing.
Yeah, mine's pretty much helped me set all my monitors and stuff up. That's great. Okay, that's great.
Well, I'll tell you what my husband fucking did. Okay. You guys are one-upping with the husbands now. Mine hasn't come yet, so I'll just shut up. But see, I seen you say, Crime Sleuthing, what they did to you with your husband. I seen Purple Phoenix say her husband was doxxed. So why would you guys do it to another? Like, how did your husband feel? It's invasive.
Like I said, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Neither did Purple. You didn't not share his address or personal name or nothing like that. Okay,
but you guys did share it on. You did share it on. You guys did condone it. You were inside participating. So let's stop the semantics. You know damn well what was happening.
And I already told Mr. Eve, you know what? That wasn't cool of me personally. I still have my friends who I adore, and I will ignore things that I don't like. We all have channels and people. We don't have to love 100% of what they do to support them as a person and a channel. There's no perfect channel out there. There's even things that Queen Bee does that are awesome and funny. She's the best laugh.
Going back to Queen Bee, you know? Like, are you waiting for this woman to like host her?
No. I'm just using it as she's really the only channel that I don't like. You know what I mean?
Well, look. Okay.
But I still can find something positive. Is what I'm trying to say.
Well, again, but here's my thing: if you don't approach your friends when they are doxing people's relatives and stuff and all that, when and if it happens to you, how do you know
that I haven't done so privately though?
Well, you know, I love when people say that. Like, oh, I call my friends out in private. That's great. You know what I mean? But because I don't believe that. 90% of the time, I just don't believe it. I'll be honest. That, you know, but usually you have a public voice, use it for a public reason, be in the chat and say, hey, this is wrong. Because here's the odds. You're likely going to have a fallout with these people at some time near future, and they're likely going to do the same thing to you. And you're going to look around and say, where's everybody at? Why isn't anybody mad that this is happening to me? And they're going to say, well, remember when you supported it happening to Eve?
Hey,
I don't. And it's wrong. I don't agree with doxing at all. It is wrong. And I just said that publicly.
All right, look.
Floor's yours, Mr.
He was in Dita's chat, or in Dita's chat. He was commenting in there, a couple of comments. You guys made the claims that, or Purple, you actually did. You said, yep. When she said that there was a DB charge on his record. Do you remember that?
I think Mr. E wanted to say one more thing, if maybe he could.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, honey. Sorry.
That's okay.
Are you guys saying I can talk now?
Yeah, sorry.
No, sorry.
Emails, you know how we are.
All right, so, I mean, from a perspective of a supportive husband, as you guys, I'm sure, have seen with your spouses, I have had to sit here and watch my wife being called many number of really evil things for legitimately just having opinions. You know, yeah, you know, missing children's cases are the absolute worst things in the world. We all agree with that. Unfortunately, this family is missing their child. All you guys are trying to do is provide words out there for him so people don't forget. But when these other creators or people in your guys' chats are sitting here attacking my wife, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good for me to sit here and look at my wife and go, oh, it's a bad night because everybody's, you know, bashing on her. It sucks. It hurts me to watch my wife go through that. Can you guys just try to limit people in your chats? People,
we're not going to censor people on our channels. No, that's not possible. You know that.
From saying absolutely rude, hateful things, you guys can put on there and say, hey, these comments will not be allowed. We made sure of that just a few days ago. Not a single comment in my wife's last live was removed. Not a single comment.
There was a whole, yes, you actually said in the chat, you said use proper YouTube names, not nicknames, because people were in there calling me bangs and bashing me, right?
Yes, and I would.
But then they started saying crime sleuthing. How is that any better? You allowed that.
I did allow that, but
it is in the chat right now, in the members chat.
Absolutely hateful about you.
Oh, come on.
No,
but that's your opinion. That is your opinion.
On here that is known as bangs or killer bangs.
That's what she calls me. Eve calls me.
Yeah, but you're getting mad about it. Me, I'm not mad about it. Hell yeah, I love my bangs.
Like, I did not do that, Beth. What is she talking about? I said I received information. I didn't send any information.
You know,
calling me bangs isn't rude. No, it's when you attach the insult to it, referring to me that way.
There was.
I'd be laughing about it. That's just me.
I do too. Bang, bang, gang, gang is what we're calling each other now. A whole bunch of us have bangs. It's no big deal.
You've had multiple people in your guys' chats. You know, you can call it what you want. You could say it's not threatening. It's not whatever. From the perspective of me and our family, I see it, and it's quite damning to be threatening. You know, saying that, oh, we're gonna chloroform somebody. That is a legitimate threat. That is a legitimate threat.
Especially if they're a dox. I mean, you know, their address was just put out. His full government name. It is threatening.
Yeah.
And you know what? Purple saying your wife is.
I don't think he ever said his name. No, his name wasn't mentioned. And if Mr. Eve is still listening, I was trying to say that I have seen him say that to a bunch of people, even friends, in joking manners, and I was not aware that there was any kind of threat there because that's just something that he says. But he did not ever say. And Purple said she went back and verified he wasn't talking directly to Eve.
Girl, do you know how weird that is to say somebody talks to their friends? I'm going to chloroform you. That's bizarre. Like,
like I said, I
know somebody that says that shit. That's weird.
I don't know much about it. I just recently saw the person in chat. I don't know. I didn't even know who that was. But anyway,
one final thing for me to say, and then I'm going to get back to the children. So, I've heard people around, or I've heard Eve and people around Randy go through hell because of threats from her and her friends. You know, I just want all the threats to stop. Like, there's just no reason for it for anybody. You know, I get, you know, this is a community. You guys are a community. You know, same thing with my field of work. Aviation is a very small branch of people. You know, we all pretty much know each other. Just like you guys all pretty much know each other without knowing each other, right?
Yeah.
So, right. People who know me on YouTube don't really, I mean, you know, it's like Facebook. If you just know me on Facebook, you don't know me. You just know me on YouTube, you don't know me. Right. You know, I do try to be true to who I am, and that is why I have no problem humbling myself when I need to, admitting when I've made a mistake. I put out correction videos and the whole bit. I apologize when I know I need to. I have no problem doing that.
I do appreciate your apology.
Okay,
I'm asking all of you guys just to be better about, you know, people, you know, in your comment section, you know, because it may not be specifically you. I'm not saying anybody is specifically guilty of doing anything, right? But being more vigilant in your guys' chat and say, hey, this isn't allowed here. You can do that because it is your platform.
And you're referring to like the threats, right, Mr. Eve? Like
I'm referring to the threats. Yes.
Right.
Okay. I just want you to know I don't believe that there was any actual threat there. Honestly, if I saw something like that, I would have said something. But I'm just saying, if I've seen him do that in all different channels and stuff, talking to people or just throwing it out there in the wind, you know, and weird things, yes. And like somebody said, people in the true crime community, we have very weird senses of humor. And I come from a nursing background. If you think that's a weird sense of humor, you've seen nothing until you've seen nurses. Very morbid sense of humor, very dry, morbid sense of humor. So not much really gets to us. And so that's why it didn't bother me, because I've seen him say that to so many people. And I thought he was just kidding around. I've never seen him say anything directly to Eve. Well, I'm a mod. I would have deleted it. So
to be fair, I think he's saying in general, not just that one particular comment, but in general.
If I'm talking about in general moving forward,
right?
Can you guys do better?
The same. You're saying the same to your wife as well, right, Mr. Eve?
I absolutely am, and right. I made sure that that was the case in her life. You know,
if I see anything, from this moment forward, if I am president and I see something that is threatening, that goes over the line, absolutely, I'll go and say something. Will Eve back off of Brandy and Tyler and just focus on the current relevant information on the case? They're not suspects. We have the 4 suspects.
Listen, I don't know what she's planning on, you know, how she's planning on covering things.
You know what that sounded like to me? If you don't mind, Mr. Eve, I do apologize. It sounds to me like you guys are going to continue to threaten and dox and torment Eve and her family if she don't do the content the way you want her to do it. That's how that came off, friend Sleuthing. Like, sure, well, I'll delete threats and everything, but is she going to back off?
No,
I mean,
no, separate request. I mean, we're trying to move forward. That's the intent there.
Right. Just the way
we're trying to move forward.
Sounded like I'm not going to stop unless she stops.
No, that has nothing. It's completely separate.
Okay.
I have my ask, and I'm not speaking on behalf of anybody. I would really personally appreciate it, knowing how much it has truly hurt the family. Please back off of Brandy and Tyler. They're not responsible. They're not suspects. We do have the 4 named suspects, and believe me, there is a lot there on them.
I completely understand. I don't really have anything to do with my wife's platform. I really don't.
Then can
exactly.
I'd like to ask her directly then.
I can take, yeah, that would be a question for you to ask her directly. But what I can say is I will talk to her about it. Is that a fair statement?
Absolutely. I mean, my husband talks to me about concerns and things. Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, when she gets back on here, I want to ask her.
Okay. Well, I'm going to get off of here now. So I appreciate you having a nice talk with me.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good one.